I'm Don Courtney, CW4 retired, U.S. Army, 30 years of service. Yeah, we plan this all year long to honor the veterans that have served, that are still serving, to let the community know that we're here to serve them and keep the country free. Okay, first we're going to start off with the service at 11 o'clock, and then following that we'll have the parade. And after the parade over in Lamb Park behind me, we will have some entertainment for the families, some bounce houses, laser tag, food trucks. We have several bands that are going to be playing today. We want the people to enjoy it. Veterans Day is more about joy and happiness rather than Memorial Day, which is to honor the deceased. Yeah, I think it's really great that the town of Palmetto and Bradenton both come together and come over across the bridge, so to speak, and honor all the veterans that have served and are still serving. Thank you for your service, and I appreciate everything that you've done, and I know some of them had it a lot harder than I did, and I really appreciate them.
I started with the Veterans Council in 2013 and then been involved ever since then. Well, this is our largest one, and the component that we've added today is it's the family component, because our veterans, when they're in uniform, it was the backbone of our military is our families and the civilian community. So the piece that we've added today is all that you'll see with bouncy castles and laser tag and things like that. We say thank you to the families in our community for their support. The University of South Florida, Sarasota Manatee campus and State College of Florida. We also have the Everglades University and Manatee Technical College. So a lot of veterans, over 1,000, maybe 1,200 veterans go to those schools in our community. So I stay engaged with them as well. They're most recent returnees from overseas deployments and combat operations as well. And so we have also the different community support agencies like Goodwill, Minnesota, and Turning Points, and Jewish Family Children's Services as well. So there's a whole lot of that going on. Yeah, so as we look around today, we're going to see veterans of all eras, of all war times, mostly some World War II, obviously not World War I, but World War II. We are celebrating our centennial for the armistice, which from World War I conclusion, so that's part of today as well. So we have every war, every theater of operation, all the way up to the present going on. And some of the other stuff that's going on here, of course, is our community. You'll see vendors that are coming into here giving us things that they normally wouldn't be giving out to the general public in support of our veterans and their families. Well, we honor our veterans because there's so much hidden there that the average person doesn't understand. It's not the long lines you stand in while you hurry up and wait and prepare for deployments and training and those type of things. But there's so much other stuff that our veterans are involved in, engaged in. They're willing to, first of all, they raised their right hand and took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States and defend the American people and to keep our enemy off shores as much as we possibly could. So that's a lot of what a veteran does. They're willing to give up their life for that.
Well, it gives us, the community, the city of Palmetto, Manatee County, all of our visitors, an opportunity to come out and celebrate and show respect and really show gratitude for all our veterans, not just the ones in the past, but the current ones serving both home and abroad. And we know that our freedom depends on these veterans. And so, it just gives us a chance to say thank you and God bless you. And having the community come out like they did today, we kind of switched things up a little bit. We hope the community likes that. We want to have a lot of kids come, especially, and so they can meet and chat with some of our veterans and learn what the sacrifices have been for them and their families. There's a lot of veterans out here today, and the more people wear their caps and their emblems from whatever branch they served in, it lets people know. So it's a wonderful day in Palmetto. I love Veterans Day and having this opportunity. It makes me feel like I live in a wonderful community. And I think that they appreciate this great country that we live in and all the sacrifices. And I've been blessed with this opportunity to be the mayor in Palmetto. And I hope that people do appreciate what we do. My commissioners and I and my staff, the people out here working today, taking their Sunday to work with the city crews, we appreciate all that. But it's a great day, a great opportunity for me to be the mayor of Palmetto and shine. We appreciate you, we thank you, and God bless you.
First of all, it's an honor for me to be here representing the congressman because he understands and he knows that Everything has to be done for our veterans. They are the ones that are protecting our freedom. So it's very, very important for us to be here to show them all that they deserve for what they've done for our freedom. Well, I think it's absolutely fantastic. It shows that the people understand. It shows that without these veterans, without our military service, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have this freedom to come and celebrate them. Well, because he wants to make sure that they understand that whatever they need, whatever they deserve, whatever they earned, they will get. They need to understand that what they've earned, all of this. And it's just a great day to recognize them and make sure they understand that we are very, very grateful. I'll tell you what, every year that Captain Courtney asked me to come, it's just a great honor, and it's a great honor for me to be here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
It's just important that we're able to give thanks for all the men and women for the sacrifices that they've given for our country, and just to say thank you. It's a small token of our appreciation for all that they've done. So I'm just thrilled to be a part of this celebration. Many of our schools are participating in the parade that's coming up, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. Well, it does give them a global perspective of what it means and what our military does for the great service of our country. And many of our junior ROTC students will be enlisting and making that next leap, so they're able to bridge the gap and speak to mentors and folks that have already been and walk the walk and been in the trenches. So it's just a great opportunity for them to see it firsthand. We are just so grateful for what they've done, the sacrifices made, and we thank them and we honor them today.
We got to thank our veterans, and we just had an historic election, record turnout, and it's thanks to our great veterans that we have the right to vote. So it's so important to get out there, thank our veterans, because the rights we have are because of them. It's amazing. It just shows you how special veterans are to our entire community. To see kids, to see families, to see picnic tables. People are celebrating. They're celebrating America, they're celebrating our veterans, and God bless our veterans. I would certainly love to see more resources go to veterans that are homeless. And I talked to Colonel Saputo, who told me the very first thing we need to do with our veterans is get them a job when they come back from service. If we can't support our veterans, what can we do as a society? That should be our #1 priority, supporting our great vets who defend our freedom. Well, certainly I'm following Representative Boyd, and the opioid epidemic is something that was near and dear to his heart, and I want to carry that forward. My top priority is workforce development, to make sure we focus on our trade schools and technical colleges and get folks the required education they need for a great job. So I hope to bring that back to Bradenton and Sarasota and make that my top priority. May God bless all of our veterans. Thank you for your service to our great country. The rights we have in our country, including the right to vote, are because of your sacrifice and your service. God bless.
Well, I guess if you knew Carl, you have two choices. You can run and hide, but he's still going to find you, or you can just surrender. So really, when he approached me, I actually went out of my comfort zone in the fact that he said, I don't want it to be just about veterans. And as a leader of Marines, I'm used to talking to veterans. So he said, actually, on this time, I need you to talk about the families. And so that was out of my comfort zone, because whenever you talk about your family, that's deep reasons, and makes you feel vulnerable, but yet it's worth saying. It's worth saying to the families and friends, thanks for sticking by us. My sacrifices are no greater than yours. It's your prayers, and really, as you already know, the real reason we fight is for our families. So when they call your name, you're there. I'm excited, especially, again, earlier I saw you speaking with the principal of the school. This new generation is going to bring and carry on the same torch and legacy that we've always had in America. So how can you not feel confident and certain that this is the United States of America and we're going to continue? Your service meant something. And it's because of whatever you thought the initial reason was for serving, you've made a difference in the lives, not just today, but in the future. And so that's a huge, not just thank you, but I got your back. And I think that's the thing I need to say is, as a veteran, to those that are just putting on the uniform and those who have not yet put on the uniform, we're out here and we're going to build a bridge for you.
The turnout for the community is huge, and it's so nice to see Manatee County honor our heroes that walk among us in Manatee County, men and women who at one point in time raised their right hand and said that they would support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. This is their day, and I'm glad to see all of Manatee County come out and honor them. The work of the Veterans Council is to help promote those programs and those projects that affect the 40,000 veterans and their families here in Manatee County. What it means to me to see this great turnout is that this is a celebration of being a part of the greatest country on the face of this earth. And it's so nice to see all of Manatee County. As I said before, it's great to see all of Manatee County honor our men and women who have served or are currently serving. Oh, we're going to be expecting a lot of excitement from the parade. We've got marching units, we've got marching bands, we got JROTC units. We'll be honoring our Veteran of the Year. He will be in a car, and we'll have just a great time honoring our veterans here in Manatee County, here at Sutton Park.
I'm not from a military family, but I have so much compassion, sympathy, and proudness of the people that serve for America, and you just can't help but come out and say thank you. And that's why I'm here today, because they have, in the history, you read what they have gone through and what they have done, and saying thank you is not enough, but that's all I can do, is say thank you. Well, I think it's important to serve the people that have served. We want to tell you that if you're one of ours and you have served your country, you can come back and your county is proud of you. I was very happy to vote yes on the Purple Heart special parking spaces. I think that was a tremendous thing, and anything we can do to try to help our veterans, because think of what they have done for us. And like I said, I'm not from a military family, so I really don't know, except that I'm very proud to at least be able to try to help and let them know that we're so happy and so proud of them. The only thing I can say, and this is not just for Manatee County, but it's from my heart, is thank you.
I appreciate you taking time out on a Sunday to be here. I'd like to welcome Mr. Tibbetts, the commissioners, Mayor Groover Bryant, Ms. Cynthia Sanders from the Manatee County School Superintendent, and other honored guests. Thank you again for being here. Please rise for the presentation of the colors, the prayer, and the national anthem. Bugler, call the colors. Our chaplain, Patricia Stiles, will now give the invitation.
Dear Lord, as we gather before you and our citizens or our area, please grant us peace as we remember those veterans who did not make it home. And also, please, may we remember those who did make it home, but maybe not 100% whole. Lord, this day is to remember all of those who served this great country and all of those still serving this great country. We grant that you remember and that you help us remember their sacrifices and also their families' sacrifices as they supported them. All of this we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's appropriate before we play the national anthem that we understand something together. Most of us here do understand this completely. The Star-Spangled Banner is the national anthem of the United States. The lyrics come from the defense of Fort McHenry, a poem written on September 14, 1814, by then 35-year-old lawyer, amateur poet Francis Scott Key, after witnessing the bombardment of Fort McHenry by British ships and Royal Navy in Baltimore Harbor during the Battle of Baltimore in the World War of 1812. When Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner 204 years ago, he called America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Those words are as true today as they were then. Throughout this nation's history, America's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen have bravely answered the call to the defense of our freedom and to the aid of our friends and our allies and to turn back aggressors. We can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to the more than 650,000 American service members who died in battle or the 1.4 million who were wounded. We can, however, recognize and thank the 25 million veterans still living today. Ladies and gentlemen, remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Honor guard, dismiss the colors. Honor guard, dismiss the colors. The honor guard today is from Korean War Veterans, Chapter 199, here in Bradenton. Please be seated. Now, I'd like to introduce Mr. Gary Tibbetts, Special Assistant to Congressman Vernon Buchanan.
Thank you very much, Don, and thank you, everyone, for being here. It is an honor for me to be here representing Congressman Buchanan to help honor the men and women who have proudly served in our armed forces. Throughout our history, men and women of the United States have answered the call to duty. From every walk of life, they have left their families, friends, sacrificed comfort, time, and money, and even lost their lives to save our country and our freedom. Every veteran fully deserves the honors that they will receive today from Americans across the country for their unwavering sacrifice and dedication. On behalf of the Congressman, I thank all servicemen and women for their courageous service, and we should give thanks and prayers to all those still serving today. I thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
And now I'd like to introduce the Mayor of Palmetto, Shirley Gruber Bryant, for the proclamation.
Good morning, all, and welcome to Palmetto and to the Veterans Ceremony and Parade. At this time, I would like to present a proclamation from the city of Palmetto, Florida. Whereas through the course of American history, courageous men and women have taken up arms to secure, defend, and maintain the principles upon which our nation was founded. And whereas today there are millions of veterans who served our nation in times of peace and war, and by their service they have kept America strong and have protected our way of life from tyranny's grip for over 2 centuries. And whereas at this moment, men and women of the Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard are serving around the world and represent steadfast dedication to protecting our freedoms. And whereas on Veterans Day 2018, we pause to reflect upon the sacrifices of all those who have served in the uniform of the United States military, and to honor our veterans who throughout history have proven heroism and love of country and time again. And whereas the Congress of the United States of America has provided that November 11th of each year shall be set aside as a legal public holiday to honor our veterans. Now, therefore, I, Shirley Groover Bryant, Mayor of the City of Palmetto, Florida, do hereby proclaim November 11th, 2018 as Veterans Day in the City of Palmetto, Florida. And I urge all citizens to recognize the valor and sacrifice of our veterans and to remember that freedom is not free. I encourage veterans to share their experiences with young Americans by speaking at schools and teaching a new generation the importance of the liberties they fought to defend. God bless America, and never forget.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Our honored speaker today is Lieutenant Colonel Ray Chapman. Lieutenant Colonel Ray Chapman served a combined 23 years in the Marine Corps, both on active duty and the Marine Corps Reserve. After completing a bachelor's degree, she enlisted in the Marine Corps. As many recruits at Paris Island, she provided the sand fleas with fresh supply of nutrition. Beginning as a communications center operator, she spent time on Camp Courtney, 3rd Marine Division, Okinawa, Japan. Returning stateside, she was assigned to the LDMX Center on Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. After being hoodwinked by the first sergeant, she submitted a package for the enlisted commissioning program and was selected for Officers Candidate School, Quantico, Virginia, on the enlisted commissioning program. She's currently on the waiting list to retire. Colonel Chapman.
Well, I want to tell you and say thank you for each one of you that are out here taking time out of your day to enjoy a parade, but at the same time just say thank you to the veterans. We appreciate that. I also want to take time to say thank you to all the community leaders who have taken their time and are given their presence here today just to say thank you again to the veterans. As an officer of Marines, I'm very used to speaking to veterans. We understand how to encourage, how to motivate, and basically just how to get things done. So today, this is a little different and a way to approach Veterans Day is I want to share with you, the family members and the friends, those that love veterans, the secret of why we really do serve. We serve because of you. It is your love, your examples that have created these patriots. Where else do you see young individuals? I hear all the time about the millennials, but I will also remind you that those millennials after 9/11 stood up and continued to do the fight. But they didn't fight just for themselves. They fought because of the values that were given to them by their parents. We fight for ideals of an America that is so great that that's what made us want to come home. So to the America's families, Those of you who can count the number of deployments that we've done, the birthdays that we've missed, the PTA meetings that you wish we had been there, for those children when we weren't there to help you buy that ball glove, we didn't get to go to the boy and girl clubs. I want to tell you sorry, and you already heard that. So today I want to say thank you. Thank you for your service, for your sacrifice, for standing by us when we couldn't be there. Thank you for attending the funerals that we wish we could have, but we couldn't. On March 20th, I'll give you an example. That day has two meanings for me. I was wearing the uniform and I was in the planning commission as we were getting ready to invade Iraq. All of the military operational stuff that I did, I really can't remember and can't tell you all of that. But what I can tell you is I did it with an ache in my heart that I couldn't be there for my family when they had a double funeral. I ached when I couldn't be there when my nieces had their first child. The only way that ache was worth it was because I was serving my country, but more importantly, I was serving on behalf of my family. It takes all of us, it takes a community to continue to make America like it is. This is truly the greatest nation in the world, but it's because of the individuals. Carl said, I want you to come speak. You don't have any books written about you that I know of. You don't have any medals, such as the Silver Star or the Medal of Honor. But I do know a thing or two about family. When I was a child, a World War II veteran who was on the beach of Normandy adopted me and 6 other children. The unique thing about that man is when he came back to do his transition after seeing the absolute horrors of war, he chose love. My father is blonde hair and blue-eyed. And my mother is probably a short, squanty little Irish woman. I was placed in an interracial home because he decided I wanted to be a father more than he cared about the color of that child's skin. That is the legacy when you have men and women of that kind of courage, not just on the battlefield, they take it home and they bring it back to our communities. That's why our neighborhoods are great. Those individuals, those family members that give us love unconditionally, who ache when we're not there, and whose prayers keep us safe. If there are any Gold Star families and family members here present today, will you please stand? They have loved those who have paid the ultimate price. So when you see a veteran and you say thank you for your service, understand that we know as we say back thank you for your support, we say it with a heartfelt measure that we serve because of our family and our friends and those that love us. Thank you.
Our Grand Marshal today is from the Valor Group at Tropicana, Mr. Wayne Osby. His branch of service, he was a Specialist 4 in the Army. He served 3 years from 96 to 69. Spent most of his time at Fort Bragg, but he did manage to get over to Vietnam in time to get a Purple Heart with an oak leaf cluster.
Well, good morning, everybody. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to be your Grand Marshal today. Yes, combat wounded veteran, and I'm sure there's a lot of them out here today. And I'm just going to make this short because I've got to get back to the parade, too. But anyway, main thing on my heart today is don't forget our veterans. There's a lot of them that people just shrug their shoulders at because they're looking for something. Somebody sent me a email, this has been years ago, and it says a veteran is someone who at one point in their life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for the amount of up to and including their life. So as we look at our national cemeteries, we see gravestones everywhere. So those people have paid the ultimate price. Some of us were a little bit luckier, but we don't want to forget our veterans. There's only two defining forces have offered to die for you: Jesus Christ, the American, and the American soldier. One died for our soul, the other for your freedom. For all the gifts that you can give a soldier, the best gift is pray for him. Don't forget our veterans, folks. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Some of you may not know it, but Tropicana has over 400 workers in their Valor group that are prior and retired military, and they do a lot for the community. Our Frederick J. Graves Veteran of the Year is James Clockey, United States Coast Guard veteran. Jim was instrumental in raising funds as the co-sponsor of the Elks Monthly Flea Market to support multiple community programs that help support our local veterans. Jim and his Elks Under Veterans Committee provided on-site support at local assisted living facilities, helping veterans and their families with special care packages and visiting those who have not been visited in some time. He also provided grant funds to the Vets to Chef program by donating graduation chef coats to homeless veterans selected for the chef program. Jim's team would talk to the homeless veteran students to learn their progress and therefore help promote their efforts towards their next successful chapter in life. He planned, organized, helped cook, and serve food to all occupants and staff at the Manatee County Veterans Village. Jim was key to justifying a grant from the National Elks for $2,000 to replace several flags at our Veterans Park. All 24 halyards and flagpole mastheads for our Veterans Park was replaced. He spent the day assisting a volunteer business that had the personnel recruited to install to purchase the hardware, and he had a lift truck so he could get up to the top of the flagpoles. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Clockey.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out, especially all the veterans that showed up today. God bless you, and God bless every veteran throughout the world. Thank you.
You'll never be a politician with that short a speech. Our Manatee County Civilian of the Year is Mrs. Betty Chambliss. Betty is the Marketing and Communications Director for Manatee Memorial Hospital, Manatee Diagnostic Center, and Manatee Healthcare System. She has been with the system for almost 19 years. Previously with the Bradenton Herald for 5.5 years, Betty and her husband Paul and daughters Carly, Dreama, and Sarah made Bradenton their home since 1994. Betty has a special place in her hearts for veterans. Her husband, father, father-in-law, and grandfather have all been veterans. They installed in her the importance of patriotism and honoring those who have served our country. Miss Betty Chambliss.
I would like to thank everyone for this honor. I've been with Manatee Memorial, like he said, for 19 years, and one of the first activities I started doing was working with Don and the Veterans Group. I am so honored that each year I can contribute, and our departments at the hospital can contribute to all the different events. I mostly want to say thank you to the veterans and their families for all the support and the sacrifice you have made over the years, not only to our country, but what you're giving to our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Betty. I appreciate it. Thank you. She failed to mention that 10 years ago she evicted us from the hospital, which is now the cafeteria where we used to meet. Please stand for the closing prayer from Patricia Stiles, our chaplain.
Dear Lord, as we bring this ceremony to a close and we send these veterans and their greatest support staff on their way, we grant that you will keep everyone safe as they return to their regular lives. However, please imbue in them the sense that any time they see a veteran, should just say a simple thank you. It does mean a great deal. Lord, please watch over our current service members, watch over our first responders, watch over our POWs and MIAs. And Lord, if there's a veteran out there thinking suicide, please wrap your loving arms around them and send them to get a help. Lord, also support and comfort our Blue Star and Gold Star family members. Lord, keep everyone safe as they return home. This we ask in your loving name. Amen.
Please be seated. I'll now turn you over to our first Vice Chair of the Manatee Council for the parade.
Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sutton Park in Palmetto for this, the 2018 Manatee County Veterans Day Parade. I just want to know, is there anybody here in Manatee County that loves a parade? On behalf of Chairman Carl Hunzinger, Parade Director Don Courtney, and Parade Marshal Bob Green, we welcome you to today's proceedings. I am Edwin Robinson, Vice Chairman of the Council, and serving as your parade announcer for today's proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to get started, and hopefully so are you. The parade begins right now.
Veterans Day Parade is underway. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause to the Manatee County Sheriff's Department Honor Guard. The largest law enforcement agency in Manatee County is indeed our Sheriff's Department. The officers in the Honor Guard today are led by Detective Darrell Davis. And carrying the Merchant Marine banner are some of our cadets from Palmetto High School. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up and cheer for the high school JROTC unit representing the Bruins of Bayshore High School. Right behind them are some girls that are just as loud. I hear you young ladies representing the Girl Scouts of Gulf Coast, Florida. The Girl Scouts of Gulf Coast, Florida serves girls in 10 counties and is currently serving 774 girls in Manatee County. Girl Scouts wants every girl to be a go-getter, innovator, risk-taker, and leader. Give a big hand for those. And don't forget my cookies later on in the year. Ladies and gentlemen, is that a stampede I see coming? No, it's just the JROTC unit representing the Mustangs of Lakewood Ranch High School. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for that fine marching unit there. It's our future soldiers coming down the pike. Ladies and gentlemen, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli to the streets of Palmetto, welcome the DeSoto Detachment 588 of the Marine Corps League, led by their Commandant Dave Klein. Ladies and gentlemen, right behind them is the Manatee County Sheriff's Department Honor Guard, led by Detective Daryl Davis. Please give a hand for all of our first responders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want real barbecue, I mean real good barbecue, you need to come out to Mission Barbecue, located on 14th Street in Cortez Plaza. They are bringing out the 2.5-ton machine known as Bam Bam, along with their general manager, Matt Pasquale. Ladies and gentlemen, your commander and auxiliary commander from the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 18 in the convertible. Welcome also with me, the DAV and the DAVA Senior Vice Commander for Chapter 18 in the red Mustang. Unit 18 is led by Auxiliary Commander Nina Slavinsky and Second Vice Commander Louise Evans, Helen Sexton, and Sally Howard. Finally, a big round of applause to veteran Aline Hughes, who is celebrating 100 years young today. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand to all of our first responders, like the East Manatee Fire Rescue Unit. We'd like to welcome their captain, Charles Reed, to the parade. I can hear the cheer all the way from here. We are BR. Welcome everybody to Pirates of the Brayton River High School JROTC unit. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pirate Battalion has a complement of 280 cadets. And also welcoming me, the Pirates of the Brayton River High School Marching Band.
I got him.
Walk this way and wave.
Terrific.
Oh, for that fine performance, ladies and gentlemen, they deserve another round of applause as they go marching down.
Look, here's fun.
Fine job, young people. Good job. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I hear some good loud cadence coming through. Welcome with me, the Pirates JROTC unit of Braden River High School. The Pirate Battalion boasts a cadre of 280 cadets. Listen to them as they shout it out loud. Manatee County is always proud of their agricultural heritage. This upcoming float is in celebration of Manatee County Farm Week. On board are past outstanding agriculturists, the Keene Pioneer Century Farm family, and 5 of our amazing veterans and farmers. Farm City Week is celebrating the agricultural heritage in Manatee County. And right behind them, ladies and gentlemen, is the JROTC unit from our host community. Welcome with me, the JROTC unit representing the Tigers of Palmetto High School. Manatee County, welcome with me, making their first Manatee County Parade is the JROTC unit representing Lincoln Memorial Academy. They are led by United States Army Sergeant First Class Retired Dwight Barber. Yep. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that sound you hear is the marching band representing the Tigers of Palmetto High School. Oh, come on, boys, bring it. gentlemen, the Palmetto High School Marching Band. Coming up right behind them are the New World Celts. The Celts were founded in 2000 to promote awareness of the outstanding contributions of the Celtic people. The Bradenton chapter of the New World Celts is led by their president, Harold Segbach. And in that sporty blue convertible, welcoming me the officers representing American Legion, Post 325 in Ellington, Florida. And welcome with me in that shiny red car, your officers from American Legion Post 309, also in Palmetto. Oh yeah, I know that sound from anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, the JROTC unit representing the Seminoles of Southeast High School. Go Noles! And right behind those Seminoles, I hear a hurricane a-coming. Welcome with me, the JROTC unit representing the Hurricanes of Manatee High School. Oh yes, and on a hot day like this, who wouldn't want a little bit of Tropicana orange juice? I can see the straw right from where I'm here in the reviewing stand. This is the Tropicana van pulling juice caboose. That's a great name for that. Now, if they only had little bottles of Tropicana to hand out to an announcer, that would be grand. This proud mobile Tropicana icon can be seen in nearly all of the many community relations events Tropicana and its employees support throughout the year. For almost 30 years, the Juice Caboose has traveled over 100,000 miles, serving an estimated 2.5 million servings of delicious, fresh squeezed Tropicana orange juice. Give them a round of applause. And we'd like to thank support from the fresh picked orange from the Tropicana orange juice caboose. Oh yes, at Tropicana, you just can't pick a better juice, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we also would like to recognize and thank the members of the Manatee County School Board, Dr. Scott Hobbs and Superintendent Cynthia Saunders for being a part of the 2018 Manatee County Veterans Day Parade.